What is happening, fishers? Dina from Untraceable Fishing. Yeah, tonight, once again with
Jared from Bulamoyo Fishing Tackle.
And once again, Jared, welcome to
Tackle Tuesdays.
So, Jared, it's almost December holidays. I don't know if you're getting excited. I'm getting super keen.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
know for you guys in store, it's the busiest time of the year for you.
Yes.
For me at work, unfortunately, fortunately, it's our quietest time of the year.
Okay.
So the contractor shut down, so that's the time I get to take a bit of leave.
Yes.
And talking on that note, I know a lot of people up country and around the Eastern Cape and wherever you are in the country come down to the coast to do some fishing. And so we thought, why not we look at a lot of guys that bring youngsters down. They come in fishing. A lot of guys don't want to get into the whole nitty-gritty of rock and surf fishing. Frustrating. They just want to bring a little rod down, go to one of the little rivers or estuaries, catch a few small fish and have some fun with the family.
Yeah.
So what we've done, Jared and I have run around the shop and picked out pretty much a budget-friendly setup, a mid-range setup if there's a bit more budget available for it. And for the guys that are serious fishermen, I'd like a nice top-end setup that we suggest for the guys to use for their light estuary fishing. So estuaries can be a fun place to catch fish, guys, especially in the summer months. A lot of fish around. Small garrick, spotties if the water's right, small cob, big cob in some estuaries. It's a very can be a very productive place to fish.
Yeah, even going into some estuaries that, as Dean said, you can also target some of your non-edible species.
Yeah.
And that's when it's fun to catch those fish on the lighter tackle.
Yeah, so there's a lot in estuaries, a nice safe environment to take your family fishing. Obviously, fishing off the bank, fishing with things. We're just going to run through bait quickly. We don't have any of the bait on the table. One thing I'd suggest to every angler out there: estuary fishing, natural baits.
Yeah.
Store-bought baits do work well. Sardine, chokka, octopus leg do work well, but you're going to have a lot more success if you're fishing with a snapper prawn or sand prawn, as the guys call them.
Yes.
A mud prawn, a live bait, anything that you're actually finding in the estuary that are luring the fish in there in the first place to feed on.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Try to stick to natural baits where you can. Just make sure you do have a fishing license, and if you are collecting natural bait, you do have the correct fishing license to collect that particular natural bait.
Yes.
So general purpose estuary fishing, we're looking at rods anywhere from 6 foot, 7 foot, 7.5 foot, 8 foot guys, just normal. You can pretty much summarize it as light bass spinning tackles.
Yeah.
Same thing you use for bass fishing. So on the
budget-friendly side.
Thank you, Jerry. Took the words out of my mouth that I couldn't find. We are not pulling rods through that are really just like cheap, nasty stuff. We're actually putting stuff that's budget-friendly, that can perform. And if you've got good fish, you'll be able to play that fish and you're going to have success. It's not,
It's not your 199 combos and your run-of-the-mill shop right checkers combos. It's something that, at least as Dean said, is some form of a decent quality for what you're paying for.
And you can bring it back next year. Next, you're going to get a good
and you can still reuse
a couple of years out of it. So there's 2 rods on the table. I know Jared's picked one and I've picked one.
Yeah.
Okay, so my choice, it comes in a 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, even up to a 9 foot.
Yes.
But I've chosen, I think it is the 6 foot guys, is the little Akuma Wave Power. Beautiful rod. Very nice. This, I think, is a bit of a stiffer rod than what Jared's got. I say very nice for small cob and your garrick species and things like that. So there's one to look out for, the Akuma Wave Power. Very, very well priced. And what did you pick out there, Jared?
So I picked out the Assassin Slayer. This is the 7 foot. They do come also in a wide variety of lengths, anywhere from a 5'6" right up to a 9 foot.
Yeah. Bit of a softer rod than the Wave Power.
Bit of a softer rod. This is the lighter action. Yeah. It makes your grunter fishing really fun. So this I would say is perfect for your grunter fishing.
I think this will be a beautiful little grunter rod. Really, really like it. Nice and responsive. Super light. You can fish this thing the whole day and you wouldn't even know it. And then reel-wise, obviously, we're trying to be budget friendly. So we've decided we picked out the little Shimano FX. Shimano, renowned for making phenomenal reels. They do make some good little budget reels too.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the FX at Bulamoyo, it comes spooled with a nylon as well. So you don't have the extra expense of buying nylon. When you're looking in the sort of sub R1,000 for rod and reel setup here, the guys aren't really fishing braid. They're normally fishing nylon and things like that, which is perfect. There's no need for it. But if you are wanting to put braid on, I can suggest 2 braids. You got the Loomis Connect coming in at like 99 rand for
99 rand for 150 meters.
That's all you need on a reel, 2,000 or 3,000 size reel. Otherwise, little Boss Finesse braid comes in little 100, I think it's 100 meter spools, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's a 200 meter, Dean.
200
it's
meters.
Yeah, it's a little 200 meter spool.
Also at a cheapest chips, put that on your reel if you want it to connect over to braid. Then when it comes to budget friendly, obviously you're going to be looking for a leader line, T-line, make a fantastic, well-priced leader line. I suggest something like a 0.4 or 0.5 for your hook snoot. More than adequate for most of your river fish you're targeting, unless you are targeting big carp in the river. But then I presume you're not going to be looking at budget sort of setups.
Yeah, you're going to look at a little bit more of a costly setup.
So 0.4, 0.5, nice and easy to tie knots. It's not too thin. When it comes to hook and swivels, I suggest looking at the landed range. Probably the best affordable hook out there, quality-wise, what you're paying. Looking at like 10 Rand a packet, guys. Cheap as chips. Hook size, I say, if you are looking for grunter, a number 1 or a number 1.0, perfect size, I suggest start using circle hooks. And then if you are chasing cob, maybe a 3 or 4 for your smaller river cob will be perfect for that.
Yes.
Swivel-wise, little max swivels or so, like for 14, 15 Rand for a packet of max swivels, more than strong enough to get the job done. So Jared, I've bought my youngsters a rod. Haven't spent too much money. I'm quite happy. If they fall and break an eye, it's not the end of the world. But I just want to spoil myself, or might have a youngster that's a bit older, something a bit better.
Yeah, but more quality.
Bit more quality. He's fished for a while. He's a bit more serious. He prefers a bit of a more direct rod, something that got a bit more performance based into it. Where do we look from there?
So what I've chosen is the Sensation. This is the Power Plus Finesse.
Yeah.
So this is the 7-foot medium action. Lovely little rods for that slightly higher end market. Also where you're still getting a rod for sub 1,000 Rand. But for what you're paying, you're getting a much better looking rod. The finish is a lot better. Your guards you will see are a lot better. Much more comfortable grip.
But
better
more
quality winch.
But more sensitive.
Yes.
Okay, so I've picked up the little Akuma Recon inshore. Also available in some different sizes and different weights. Bit of a Foster taper rod. You can see Jared likes the slower taper rods, it seems, and I like the Foster taper rod when it comes to river fishing. So that's my personal choice. Reel wise, Jared and I both decided that the new Akuma Sapphire, let me get it right, is the ultimate combination for this.
Yeah.
I think it's just over 1,000 Rand for this reel. Beautifully finished, power knob, looks the part, looks like a $1,000,000 Rand reel. Fantastically smooth, guys. So check out the Akuma Sapphire. I suggest a 3,000 to suit either of these rods.
Yes.
And then, we're going to, guys, spending this sort of budget, presumably you're going to fish with braid, unless they don't like braid. What sort of braid are we looking at, Jared?
So what we've got on the table is the Boss Whisper braid. Look, there's a wide variety of braids you could look at. We've just chosen the Boss Whisper braid at the moment. So for this type of setup, you ideally want to be fishing as the average angler. Most of the guys are going to be fishing a 15-pound braid.
You got comfortable, you hook that bigger fish, you can still stop it.
Yeah.
The Whisper braid is extremely thin for its diameter.
Yes.
It's a very, very soft braid. The reason why we've chosen the Whisper braid is guys in this sort of class of tackle, there might be guys wanting to throw some lures as well.
Yeah.
And the Whisper braid makes a fantastic lure casting braid.
Yes.
Paired up with that, I suggest if you are throwing lures, you start looking at a bit of a better quality mono or copolymer, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
I know Jared fishes all the time. Really good stuff, guys. I'm really impressed with the stuff. The Fishman.
Yeah. No, I love this stuff. So what we've chosen for this application is the 16-pound. It's what they list as a 7 kilo. It's a 0.3 diameter. As Dean said, you want something a little bit more better quality, something that doesn't have that that memory that the other lines have. So it's something that's still very supple, but it has the abrasion resistance if you hook a slightly better size fish in the structure. Bearing in mind, you're fishing rivers, you never know if there's any twigs or branches or anything coming down the river.
Hook a little river snapper and he's into the rocks or into that stick straight away.
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I like about Fishman, in my eyes, the closest, I don't know if it's a monofilament or copolymer, it's a monofilament. The closest you're going to get to fluorocarbon without it being fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
So stuff's doesn't have too much stretch, stays nice and stiff, like they've got the possibility of fluorocarbon, nice hardish line.
Yeah.
So it's going to keep its shape and things like that. So If you can't afford fluorocarbon, guys, especially for tying your traces and your other hooks to any sort of fishing, definitely have a look at this Fishman.
Yes.
Probably the closest you're going to get without having to spend 4 times the price for a spool the size for fluorocarbon.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the top end of the guys. You're coming down or you're around and you really want to spoil yourself. That guy wants to go target some nice big Learys, maybe in Port St. John's or in the Transkei or down the Western Cape. You really want to get good quality fish, or you just really want to enjoy your fishing experience.
Yeah.
You like the best.
Yeah.
Not the best, but you like the good stuff. There are some guys out there just like the good stuff. You can afford the good stuff. So for me, there are a lot of good rods on the market. I've chosen the one and only Assassin Supernova. To me, this is the ultimate when it comes to 6, 7 foot rods.
Yeah.
To me, this is the ultimate. I know they got the Infinity as well, also a very good rod.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know, this rod, just the feel of it holds a special place in my heart. So I would suggest that. And then what we've done is paired that up with the one and only Shimano Vanford. This reel is, you can't feel it, it's so light.
Yeah, they weigh virtually nothing. Super, super smooth.
Yeah. So this will be ideal for the guy that wants to spend hours on the river, throwing light blacktails, little topwater lures, little jigs, things like that. Or if you just want some really good quality bait fishing, drifting for a spotty or a nice big cob.
Yes. And
this rod can handle anything that the river's going to throw at you. I can promise you that. I've seen some really, really big fish caught in this. Just extra details, guys. Nice molded finger grips. The best graphite money can buy. Super light, super balanced. Best components you're going to get on any little rod this thing. Absolute magic setup there. With that, obviously, we're going to step up the braid. The quality of the braid. So I found that the Shimano Kariki braid, 15 pound, what I suggest using the setup. You could probably go down to 10 pound, 8 pound, depending on what you're fishing. I like fishing 15 pound as a general braid. Fantastic braid, guys. Check it out, Shimano Kariki. If you just want a braid that's a bit more premium. And then, obviously, this sort of spec, we're going to be fishing fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
No other ways about it. You're throwing lures, you're putting a little hard time, and you don't want to spook fish with your mono or things like that. Fluorocarbon, Fishman, fluorocarbon. Absolutely fantastic stuff. When they say fluorocarbon has the same light refraction, I think the word is, as what water does. So when it is underwater and there's light reflecting off it, it's invisible in water. So I can tell you that there's line on that spool and you can't see it. It's got a slight pink color, this one. Just putting it almost clear in daylight. You can hardly even see there's any line on the spool.
Yeah.
Very fantastic stuff, guys. Not too much stretch. Sinks nice. It's got a nice stiff profile, which gives a more natural movement to your baits. I skipped out a part. Mid-range hooks. If you in the mid-range prices, so we pulled out the Adrenaline ones. A little bit, I think they're a little bit more. What are they costing? Yeah, about double the price of the Landits. But fantastic hooks. You can get some really good fish on these hooks.
Yeah, there's some beautiful fish that have come out on them. Not just in the estuaries, even for the rock and surf anglers.
My personal best black steelers with the rocks is off one of the red Adrenalines, a 10.
Okay.
Fantastic hook. Big, thick gauge. I still use them for my muscle cracker fishing from time to time. And then top end scale of hooks. There are so many good brands out there, guys. Obviously, I'm going to have BKK on the table because everyone knows I love BKK. Jared loves his Tridents, so things like that.
Yeah.
There's VMCs, guys. There's Mustard. Whatever you can afford. Get the good stuff. I do try to recommend to everyone. Get hooked on circle hooks. Is the way forward, guys. Easy release. Easy to catch fish. Once you've mastered, a lot of guys J hooks. Circle hooks are like, our circle hooks are rubbish. They're never hooking any fish on it. It's because you haven't learned the process of hooking a fish on a circle hook yet.
Yeah.
Once you've learned and progressed into a circle hook, you're going to lose a lot less fish on a circle hook. Once a fish is hooked on a circle hook, you do not lose them as easy as you lose them on a J hook. Because a J hook, you've got to keep that constant tension the whole time. Circle hook, you can afford to lose tension sometimes. And that hook's still going to sit nicely in the corner of the mouth. So anyway, guys, I hope that there's a nice quick one from us tonight. If there's any questions regarding to estuary fishing, please hook us up. Give me a comment below. Give us a shout. I'll let you know which rivers around the Eastern Cape are the good ones to fish in and which are not the good ones to fish in. But before we go, there are some guys that fish off boats. And I'm just going to suggest something. The Sakuma Sloppy Rod, LTB rod, is a fantastic rod. I know they're on a crazy special. I can't even tell you what the price is at the moment. It's like $300 or something like that.
Yeah.
Something silly they're going for. So for the guys that are fishing on the boats, definitely check out the Sakuma Sloppy with a power tip. I think live bait rod for cobs, this will be my rod of choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So this is a fantastic rod. Check them out, guys. On special at the moment. Anyway, chaps, so until next week, from an extremely hot East London, it's about 385 degrees inside the shop. Dean from Untraceable Fishing and
Jared from Bullamore Fishing Tackle.
Cheers.
Cheers.